What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Command and Console. My name is Jason. Today we have got another kind of game hunt video, game pickups video. This week it was my birthday. Yes, I'm getting old. I'm an old git now. I thought for my birthday I'll go a bit further afield and have a little game hunt in Bromley. And the only footage I've got from Bromley is literally the CX shop. Really happy with what I've picked up, and we can have a look on what they had in the shelves. Let's have a look at the footage. Let's go. So we're at the PS2 section, as you do, straight in there. Area 51 for a fiver. A pretty decent first person shooter, but I decided to leave it behind. Got a really great selection of PS2 games in this shop at the moment. However, I'm not finding nothing on my list which has been the bane to my existence, because I'm getting kind of, I only have some of the more big hitter titles that I don't really see very often now. Resident Evil Dead Aim is definitely one I want for the Resident Evil collection, but not today. Some GameCube here. I do want to get the rest of the Star Wars games on GameCube, but I felt like the overall selection was a bit underwhelming. We'll move over to the 360 selection. An underrated racer there, Blur, pretty decent. Quite enjoy that one, to be honest. I will get it for the collection at some point, but not right now. Not right now. Castlevania Lords of Shadow, that's definitely a game on the list. It's backwards compatible, so I think that's going to go up in price quite a lot. The Godfather 2, pretty underappreciated sequel in my opinion. King Kong, don't see that very often. That was quite cool to see. It's gone up dramatically in price now. The Last Remnant, definitely an RPG I'm looking to get. Onto the Wii section here. Cursed Mountain, a really underrated horror game that hasn't really sprung up in value, which is quite surprising. So I definitely recommend that one. Cruising, a racing game that looks kind of interesting. And Epic Mickey, which is on the list, but I don't want to pay £4 for it. So as you can see in the footage, they had loads of 360 titles, a big chunk, a really nice chunk of PS2 titles. A little bit of GameCube there, I suppose. A bit disappointed with the GameCube. Not much selection there. I've noticed GameCube in CX, the selections are getting smaller and smaller. Whereas you get like a massive fuck ton, lack of a better term, of PS2 games in CX and 360 titles, GameCube is very scarce now, even in places like CX where you can buy them second hand. And I think it's because GameCube has become so sought after that people are holding on to the games, are holding on to their collections, which is good because people want to preserve the games, of course. But anyway, I'm getting all over the shop right now. So yeah, so what did I pick up from CX in Bromley? We did obviously make a detour as well to my local CX after the fact, so we can see what we got in that one as well. Anyway, without further ado, let's have a look what I picked up. The first game is called War Groove. Now the reason why this intrigued me is because it was £3, so that's always nice. But also it's kind of got this kind of cutesy art style to it, which I thought was quite cool. Almost like anime-esque, almost cutesy anime kind of art style, which I think is quite cool. Sometimes it turns me off, but in terms of this game, it's got this. It's basically a tactics, turn-based tactics game, and it's more along the lines of stuff like Advance Wars and Fire Emblem, which I both really enjoy those titles. I think they're really fun tactics, kind of, you know, kind of cute kind of tactics games. Maybe not Fire Emblem, that's a bit more hardcore, but they're really cool. So I've heard this one was really cool. £3. I'm going to pick it up just to try it out, right? Just to give it a go. That is War Groove. It says deluxe edition. It's meant to come with the manual and the soundtrack and some stickers and a map. It came with none of those, which is a shame. But yeah, it does have reversible art. It's just the main art kind of blown up. Yeah, so that's War Groove. Looking forward to checking this one out. You've probably seen some footage on the screen. Yeah, it looks like a really cool kind of tactics kind of. Just looks like Advanced Wars to me. Looks really fun. That's War Groove. Next up is Final Fantasy 15. Now, I do have a video coming out maybe after this one where I went out and I bought a bunch of RPGs. We'll get onto that because that video is going to be coming soon. But anyway, I bought a bunch of RPGs and I bought a game called Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. that I'm currently playing, and it's fucking awesome, right? It's awesome. I love it. And it made me want to go back to Final Fantasy 15. I remember really liking this one. I've never beat it though, but I thought I'll go and get this one. A £5 in CEX on PS4. Comes with the little kind of barely a manual these days, but it comes with a booklet and that. Looks kind of complete and nice. Yeah, I wanted to give this a replay. I remember really enjoyed it for what it was at the time. It's definitely a lot more fanfare for this game when this came out versus Final Fantasy 16, which I also have, that I also haven't played yet. But this one, lots of fanfare for it. I remember it being pretty decent when it came out. I want to give it another go. I want to give it another try. So that's Final Fantasy 15. Next up is a game that I used to have on the Switch, and it is Dragon Quest Builders. I'm not really a Minecraft guy, but when you take the elements of Minecraft and kind of merge it with kind of Zelda mechanics, you get this, and this is really, really fun. I really enjoy this game. It's absolutely addictive. I remember on the Switch, I downloaded the demo, and this may be like the first chapter of the game, pretty much. But I played this demo on the Switch for like 6 hours, just running around, getting materials, building stuff. It was so much fun. And this, for some reason, right, this is where physical kind of trumps digital for me. So on PS5, the digital version for this is 20 quid, and the sequel, Dragon Quest Builders 2, is 28 quid. This was £5 in CEX, £5 physically on PS4. Do I say any more? I'm saving myself 15 quid by getting it physical. Yes, that's the way to go. I love this game. This game is so much fun, so addictive. It's pretty much Legend of Zelda with Minecraft kind of build mechanics. It's so fun. If you enjoy these kind of like crafting, buildy games, but you want a bit of kind of open world, kind of like RPG elements in there, like very light kind of stuff, this is the game for you guys. It's really fun. Dragon Quest Builders. I had to pick this up for my collection because I played a demo on the Switch, then I bought the Switch game, then I sold my Switch and all the games, didn't have a Switch anymore. So I kind of want to jump back into this and actually maybe beat it because it's really, really fun. That's Dragon Quest Builders. The final game from CEX in Bromley is a Wii title, Cursed Mountain. Now, as you guys know, I'm a big Resident Evil fan. I'm a big survival horror fan. I'm a big horror fan in general. Like my room is full of just horror movies, completely horror movies. I love horror films. If you remember the wall opposite me there is where I used to have the backdrop. I got like Critters posters on there and stuff. I love horror films. I love them. They're my favourites. So this is meant to be a really underrated horror game for the Wii. I've been looking for it in good condition. So my local CX also has this, but it was in terrible condition. No manual, and the cover had water damage. It was all like really crinkled and wrinkled and just looked horrendous. And it was the inlay, it wasn't the case. But I found this one in Bromley with the manual there, and in very nice condition. £2.50 this one was. Very, very decent price. I'm surprised. Usually these kind of like almost like hidden gem, that term again, that title, these kind of hidden gem titles, these kind of obscure titles, I'm surprised this ain't more money, to be honest. So I have played this before. It's really, really interesting. It's really cool. I like it a lot. I highly recommend it if you're collecting for the Wii and you like your horror games. It's one of those cheap ones that I'm surprised is still cheap. So get your hands on this one, guys. £2.50 in CX. Definitely worth a buy. Definitely. Yeah, it's really, really cool. It's about this guy looking for his brother going up into the mountains. And weird, crazy, spooky stuff happens. It's cool as hell. Yeah, I'm really surprised, like I said, about these. Some games just do not take off in terms of the second-hand market and be super, super like valuable and sought after. Especially when they're kind of obscure like this one. Cursed Mountain, give it a go. It's worth a buy. Yeah, really, really like that one. That's Cursed Mountain. So we move out of CEX in Bromley and go into game. It's one of those rare cases where there was like an actual like singular game store. And there was one game I was looking for in game for PS5 because they've got this kind of bit of a flash sale going on their website. And there was one game, it was £7, right? For PS5, a PS5 game for £7. And it's an RPG, and it's made by Square Enix. And I've been wanting this game since I saw it, because I really like Square Enix and their RPGs, and I've just love RPGs in general. So as it was my birthday, my mum bought me this one, so thanks mum. Yeah, this one is called Valkyrie Elysium. Yeah guys, get down to your local game store and get this. £7. I can't guarantee your game will have it, because this was the last one in stock when I found it. I was lucky to get it. It's also £7 on PS4, and you should get a free upgrade as well to PS5, as far as I'm aware. It looks really cool for an RPG. Very Final Fantasy-esque art there though, must say. Yeah, from what I've seen, it's basically about you as Valkyrie, and you've got to bring back your kingdom to its rightful kind of salvation. So it's basically Final Fantasy in Norse mythology, I suppose, or a fantastical version of Norse mythology. Sounds cool as hell to me, and for £7, who cares if it might not be that good? Even if it's a 5 out of 10 game, £7, I'd say it's worth it, guys. Go and hunt this down at your own local game stores, man. £7 for, like, I would go as far as saying is like maybe a AA kind of RPG from Square Enix of all people. Hunt that down. That's Valkyrie Elysium. So this is when we move on to my other CEX. I haven't got no footage for this one because we just, we got some lunch and then we jumped in there quickly, had a look about. I picked up some games, then we went home. So forgive me for no footage, but this is what I picked up. I've never been a huge fan of the Assassin's Creed franchise. I love Assassin's Creed 2. I love Origins. I think Origins is great. I think on a replay, Unity is one of the best in the series. I know people might go, "You're insane!" I probably am. It's been 10 years since that game came out. They fixed a lot of the shit that went wrong with that game when it came out. And that Assassin's Creed's depiction of Paris is amazing. So go and check out Assassin's Creed Unity revisit that game. It deserves a revisit anyway. That's a subject for a different time. I picked up Assassin's Creed Syndicate. The older this game becomes, the more people seem to love it, apparently. The one thing that really intrigues me about it is that it's set in London and you play as a pair of siblings, brother and sister. 19th century London, I think it's cool as hell, right? 1800s. I'm up for that, man. It's like that kind of peak kind of gothic kind of London era, Jack the Ripper kind of thing, I'm up for this. I'm up for it. And this was the last, some would argue, classic era of the Assassin's Creed games before they went straight up RPG mode. So I'm looking forward to this one. I'm not the biggest fan of this franchise, but I'm looking forward to this one. Set in London, it could be cool as hell. Like I said, going back to Unity opened my eyes to how great that game is. Now it's all been fixed. It's a great Assassin's Creed game. Awesome. Assassin's Creed 2 is still probably might be my favourite. But anyway, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. You know how I said there was pretty much barely any GameCube titles in the Bromley store? In my local store, I found 2 games that I wanted for the collection, which I was really happy about. The first game is an awesome first-person shooter that nobody talks about. It's actually really good and really faithful to the source material. That is Judge Dredd. Dredd versus Death. This is a really cool FPS that no one talks about, that I absolutely love. You really take on the role with Judge Dredd here. You can basically stop people from robbing places and arrest them and just basically decide to, I'm just going to kill them. Or you can just arrest them and sentence them. There's so much free will in this game. You, as a judge, you feel like you're a judge. But what I love about this game the most is that the gunplay is satisfying. It's brutal, it's violent as hell, and you feel like an unstoppable killing machine in this game. You feel like the Terminator, essentially. But I like the actual judge, kind of almost roleplay aspects, where you can basically interrogate people, arrest them, just, judge, jury, executioner, like in the comics. Exceptional game. Super underrated. I know that term has been thrown around a lot, like underrated. Like everything's underrated these days, but in terms of the first person shooter kind of genre, especially early 2000s, This is one of my favourites. I love this game. So happy to get it on the GameCube. I'm looking forward to giving this a play in 480p through Wii backwards compatibility. But yeah, complete with manual. This is definitely one that's worth a buy. It's not super expensive. You just saw the price earlier on the screen. But yeah, Judge Dredd, Death vs. Death is a awesome game that I kind of just put out to you guys. I recommend you picking this up, or at least giving it a try. That's Judge Dredd. The final game in this video is it's a fighting game. Not really big into fighting games anymore. Not since, like, you know, the early 2000s, 90s were peak in my opinion. Soul Blade, Soul Calibur, Tekken. This franchise, I still love this franchise, but I feel like they've had a more of a hit and miss catalogue of titles. This one's always been a bit of a miss for me. Never really got into the style of it. It's their second foray into the 3D era. It is Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. I like the story in this game. I think it's pretty cool. Never got on board with the fights. It was cheap enough on the GameCube. Why not give it a second go? Really like this. I think I like the artwork on it as well. It's really simple. I love the artwork on the disc as well. It's pretty sick. You've got the dragon logo there. It's weird. I'm looking forward to jumping on this because there's big fans of this era of Mortal Kombat. I'm calling this era, I'm dubbing it the 3D era, because you've gone from classic to 3D to modern, in my opinion. And I feel like this is like right bang in the middle of that. I think Deception might be the better game if I were to hold them up, you know, if I have to choose between the two of those games. But yeah, I'm looking forward to giving this a go. I don't think we got Deception on the GameCube, but anyway, I'm looking forward to giving this one a go. Deadly Alliance, Mortal Kombat. Overall, I think it's been a very successful birthday day out in Bromley, in my local town, picking up some bangers. Some of these games are fantastic. You know, Curse Mountain is really good. Judge Dredd is like super underappreciated. That Valkyrie Elysium, I can't emphasize. Get to game now, £7 on PS5 no less, guys. Go and get it. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. Had a really nice day out for my birthday this week and got a bunch of games for the collection. Let me know any of your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, guys, as always, let's continue to build a games collection.